Welcome to Cineights, where you get to know the best movies and series. Today's video is about the most expensive TV series ever made. I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to watch until the end. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Friends, a very beloved TV sitcom that counts on many fans even today. Friends centers on the lives of a group of distinctive 20-something friends as they navigate through life in New York, each with their own ambitions and goals. Friends' high budget may come as a surprise to some, as it does not look like that much of an expensive series visuals-wise. However, at $10 million per episode, the beloved comedy series Friends has earned a spot among the most expensive sitcoms. Furthermore, thanks to its huge popularity increase, each cast member made more than $1 million in Friends' final season. Halo, based on the iconic Microsoft video game, Halo saw the beloved franchise adapted for television in the Paramount Plus series. Following the war between the United Nations Space Command and the alien alliance known as the Covenant, Halo brings the science fiction tale to the small screen in a big way. As one of the most critically acclaimed and successful video game franchises, the Halo TV series could easily rely on its existing fanbase for support. However, many fans agree that considering the $10 million per episode budget, the CGI could have been better. Although Season 1's production was impacted by the pandemic, with big names attached and executive producer Steven Spielberg involved, it ended up falling a bit short of expectations. Band of Brothers is a highly regarded, historically accurate TV series. It counts on an immensely talented cast, ranging from Damian Lewis to Michael Fassbender, and chronicles the history of Easy Company, 506th Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division, U.S. Army. It is based on interviews with survivors and soldiers' journals and letters. Created by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg, this astounding and immersive series entertained many who enjoy the genre, also thanks to its impressive average budget of $12.5 million per episode. Although many aspects contributed to this, the massive budget was mostly due to significant special effects and pyrotechnics as well as, of course, its impeccable ensemble cast. The Crown, period dramas are inherently expensive productions, from crafting historically accurate sets, costumes, hair, and makeup, as well as casting actors who both look and sound like their real-life counterparts. Netflix's prestigious drama series The Crown has spared no expense when it comes to bringing the story of the British royal family to television screens. At $13 million per episode, the high budget for The Crown shines in the show's meticulous attention to detail. Having won countless awards for costuming alone, and with its cast praised for the accuracy in which they portray the mannerisms of their real-life counterparts, it's easy to understand how such a fantastic and well-crafted period series depended on a high budget. The Sandman was one of the most pleasant surprises to come out of 2022. The absorbing fantasy series, which is based on Neil Gaiman's comic book series of the same name, centers on the King of Dreams as he escapes after being captured and held captive for 105 years and attempts to restore everything he once had in his possession, including his realm. From the moment it premiered, Netflix's The Sandman became one of the most talked about series globally, and its budget was one of the main reasons why there were doubts surrounding whether the streaming service would eventually renew it. Sandman is a really expensive show, and for Netflix to release the money to let us make another season, we have to perform incredibly well, Neil Gaiman commented. Fortunately for viewers, The Sandman is getting a second season. Game of Thrones, HBO's pop culture phenomenon Game of Thrones faced the challenge of adapting George R.R. Martin's epic fantasy novels for TV. Starring Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington among other talented stars, the series depicts the struggle for power between several noble families. The story comes with a large cast of recurring characters spanning different locations within Westeros. From the archipelago of the Iron Islands to the wintry north, Game of Thrones is also known for its visually stunning filming locations shot all around the globe. The initial budget for Season 1 was around $5 to $6 million per episode. By the final season, this rose to $15 million per episode, as the HBO series saw the cast and crew traveling between the United Kingdom, Croatia, Iceland, Spain, Malta, and Morocco. With great acting performances and an interesting message about mankind's connection with Earth, is set in a dystopian future where humanity has lost the ability to see. Apple TV Plus' at times even overlooked series follows the story of the impact the birth of two children who are capable of seeing has on a world where this gift is considered heresy. Although the significant $15 million per episode budget of may be attributed to the big names behind the show such as Jason Momoa and director-producer Francis Lawrence, the show's big budget is largely due to its filming location in Vancouver. To assist with the creation of the dystopian world, the production team drained an actual lake in Vancouver, built a village, and then filled the lake up after filming concluded. The Mandalorian, one of the earliest original series on Disney+, The Mandalorian embarked on a new chapter in the Star Wars franchise with its first live-action TV series. Set after the events of Return of the Jedi, this epic space adventure follows a bounty hunter who has rescued a young infant belonging to the same species as Yoda, who is on a journey to be reunited with his own kind. The Mandalorian's highly expensive $15 million per episode budget is largely due to the inventive filming techniques used throughout production. While the green screen has traditionally been used to superimpose actors onto a digital environment, The Mandalorian utilized stagecraft instead, a way of immersing the actor within the digital environment through large LED video screens that can be rendered in real time. One Piece. It is only natural that One Piece is now one of the most watched series on Netflix after all. All fans of the anime seem to be loving its live-action adaptation so far. The show revolves around a young pirate captain who sets out on an adventure with his crew of pirates to discover the mythical titular treasure and ultimately attain the title of Pirate King. Even if one is not familiar with its source material, this pirate series is certainly a good enough introduction to its fantastical world, especially for those who are looking to stream something fun and lighthearted. Netflix series allegedly sat at around a whopping $17.27 million per episode. The Pacific, the World War II battle between Japanese and American soldiers on the island of Peleliu. The Pacific was the most expensive miniseries at the time. Thanks to its remarkable premise and memorable characters, it is regarded as one of the best series of its genre. At a $20 million budget per episode, the expensive HBO miniseries reached critical acclaim for its historical accuracy and depiction of epic World War II Pacific Ocean fight scenes. With big names like Spielberg and Tom Hanks behind the production and iconic film composer Hans Zimmer behind the war drama's score, The Pacific truly feels like a TV show on a grand cinematic scale, and its budget reflects its quality. House of the Dragon, the prequel to Game of Thrones, shattered viewership records for HBO with nearly 10 million people tuning in to watch the first episode of House of the Dragon. Building off the success of its predecessor, the series is set 2 centuries before the events of Game of Thrones and centers around the House of Targaryen and the civil war that led to the family's downfall and the disappearance of dragons from Westeros. With plenty more CGI dragons as well as the expected success that comes from being a Game of Thrones prequel, the $20 million per episode budget has given House of the Dragons the chance to expand the tale of Westeros 3 years after the controversial, terrible finale of Game of Thrones. WandaVision, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has built one of the most popular film franchises of the 21st century. With a $400 million budget for Avengers Endgame, Marvel's venture into television after the epic conclusion to the Infinity Saga came with equally expensive budgets in order to continue expanding the MCU. Before the launch of Disney Plus in 2019, each of the MCU television titles reportedly cost $25 million, including WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and Hawkeye. Continuing a steady flow of content throughout the year, most recently with the release of Secret Invasion, it's clear that Marvel is dominating both the big screen and the small screen. Stranger Things, as one of the most successful long-running series on Netflix, over its 4-season run, Stranger Things has gone from being a small-town tale about a missing boy and 80s references to a much darker and action-packed horror sci-fi show involving secret government facilities, Russian conspiracies, and military involvement. Along with the ambitious storylines and production of Season 4 came Stranger Things' ambitious budget of $30 million per episode. With much of Season 4 taking place outside the small town of Hawkins, the bigger budget allowed for more action, more thrills, and 90-minute episodes that truly felt like movies. No doubt, Stranger Things is up there as one of the most expensive TV series. Citadel, as it turns out, Citadel being one of the most expensive TV shows of all time does not save it from bad reviews. With a Rotten Tomatometer score of 50%, the divisive show follows Mason Kane and Nadia Sin, 2 spies who were presumed killed during a mission in Italy. At $50 million per episode, the action-adventure series fell short of expectations and cost more to Amazon than viewers probably thought. While it is not remarkable and often favors style over substance, Citadel is still worth checking for fans of the genre. The great chemistry between the 2 leads and its fun bits are 2 of the show's strongest assets. The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, at $58 million per episode, a total budget of $465 million. Amazon Prime's The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power has easily become the most expensive TV show ever made, and surpasses the combined $281 million budget of the Lord of the Rings film series. Exploring the world of Middle-earth thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit, the ensemble cast of Rings of Power takes audiences through the elven stronghold of Eregion to the underground dwarven kingdom of Khazad-dûm. With lavish sets, costumes, and a grand tale, it is understandable that the beloved fantasy franchise's venture to the small screen would be met with an equally lavish budget.